My son James is 19 years old. James was diagnosed with profound autism at the age of 22 months. And for the first 6 to 9 months of James's life, he looked very much like a typically developing baby. Around the time of 12 to 18 months, we saw a huge regression. We started to lose his eye contact. He did not respond to his name. At that time, there was not a lot online in terms of access for parents to look at characteristics of what does a child with autism, what does that look like and how does it manifest? We knew that we needed to get James in front of someone with expertise, and we were able to start an in-home early intervention program for him. And he's been at the Woodlands High School now for 4 years. He is absolutely thriving in that environment. He also works on a coffee cart that the special education kids do for the faculty. He also is doing some of their vocational programs where he goes and volunteers at a nearby church. It was critical for James to have access to a behavior analytic team to help us get James back to where he needs to be in terms of a quality of life for him and also us as a family.
You know, the impacts that a special needs kid has on the rest of the family are hard to measure. You know, he doesn't have normal eating patterns, he doesn't have normal hygiene patterns, but it's the wake behind that where the impact is, and you just have to learn to deal with that. And that is not the easiest thing to deal with. That's why you see all these high divorce rates for special needs kids, because it is tough.
Mason, we're leaving for college. Are you excited? How excited are you?
Well, toll on the family. I will say that classic textbook. We went through all of it. Mason has a sister, Sarah, an older sister, Sarah. Their dad and I divorced when they were young because it was complicated. And she knew that she was my eyes and ears. She was Mason's protector. I think that took a toll on her too, because she didn't have the freedom that she would have normally had. You know, and even to this day, I think about what will the burden be on Sarah, you know, moving forward if Mason can't be independent.
After public school, they kind of hit a brick wall. They don't have any additional supports, the ongoing supports that they need both vocationally, socially, and executive functioning skills, behaviorally. And because of that, we end up with 85 to 90% of individuals on the autism spectrum are unemployed or underemployed.
The options for people with ASD that no longer have a parent or, you know, close family caregiver in their lives to help support them are pretty minimal, quite frankly. Chances are good that without the right supports, without the right settings, that he could end up homeless. He could end up in homeless shelters, and God forbid, the justice system.
I don't know what he's going to do when he's done with this school. You know, one of the things that we're trying to do with Beacon is make that transition seamless, so you can go from like a life skills program like this into some other similar program, and these kids can continue to learn. But that stuff's not out there. It's like getting to the end of the cliff. You look over the edge of the cliff and there's nothing there. And you have to build it yourself, is what we're doing.
The funding that goes towards supporting adults in Texas, we are 49th out of 50. And families wait on waiting lists to provide those services for their adults, sometimes decades, 15 to 20-year wait lists.
And he is something like 8,000 and something on the list. So at the current rate of state funding, he will become eligible at the top of this list when he's in his 40s. The future is not that far out. We start, okay, I'm going to retire. You know, what does that mean for Tommy? Tommy's going to age out of this program. What does that mean? So the future starts like in 2 years.
Project Beacon is 4 things. It's live, work, play, learn. So it's a place to live. It's a place to work, to have meaningful employment, to have meaningful vocational opportunities.
So Project Beacon is going to develop a vocational program that is on property for individuals that need to work in a vocational setting that is more supported and need more supports.
So you have, security. You'll have Wednesday night pizza night. You'll have cable TV, AC, security. All the common community charges will be basically equally applied across all the residents, and that's your apartment rent.
So live, work, play. Our guys they're not always the easiest to make friends with, but they want friendship.
There will be a very big community center where there are a lot of opportunities for social interaction and pathways to friendship.
So a place to play, but a place to learn too. Ongoing learning, to learn to grocery shop, to learn to have healthy relationships with people. What does that look like?
Having a vibrant life where they're doing stuff that they find rewarding.
So I just break it down to those 4 things. It's live, work, play, learn. It's covering all of those bases, and that's what we are attempting to do.
Supporting Project Beacon comes in many, many forms. It can be your time. We have a community that is full of very talented people from many different sectors, business-wise, law-wise, grant writing. We're going to ask those individuals to share some of their talents.
This cause is one that impacts a lot of people. So there's a fundraising component. There's a parent component. If you're a parent like me and you're worried about what you're going to do with your kid and what the future holds and trying to position him or her for a safe and fulfilling future, Beacon is going to do that.
Helping us spread the word, helping us tell the story is one of the things that I think will help us get more traction. One day we'll be a household name and be a luminary in this space and giving back to others who are following in our footsteps.
If you have a regular kid, you might say, hey, my kid got a job at a big 8 accounting firm. My reality is I want to see my kid do laundry and pop popcorn in a microwave. But that is equally rewarding, if not more rewarding, to see him doing something like that.
We would like Project Beacon to really be the beacon leading that surge and call to action to make these individuals included and valued in our community.